Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good this Wednesday morning. I was about to say Tuesday there. Wednesday morning. Did it again. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. If you are enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Really does help out, and make sure you do hit the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But guys, welcome back. What's up, Sculpey? Hope you're doing good, my man. William as well. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I was in some Euro USD longs over the weekend. I was holding them yesterday, but did get stopped out this morning. Well, trailed out this morning for roughly around 0.75R. My stop loss was trailed just below this low here. And that nasty candle there just went and took me out the trade. So exited that trade. It was looking good yesterday, but momentum failed. We kind of saw a big shoot to the upside. I think there was maybe some minor news that caused that, but since then, the market's kind of fallen over a little bit. I still do anticipate more upside. I do think we can get back to the high, but in terms of finding setups to re-enter, it's not looking as attractive as it was on Friday. Coming back to retest this level here, really nice rejection there. Had some strong confluence there as well. Fibonacci trendline confluence there came through. So it was looking really, really good on Friday. However, now I don't really like buying it where it is now, even though I do anticipate more upside. Looking at the DXY as well, similar situation. Looking for the DXY to come back into this low here. We saw a bit of an up move. Now's not really the time for me to be looking to short. Not that we can't roll over, but it's not really optimal in terms of fitting my trading plan well. So yeah, I'll probably be staying out the market for dollar pairs until I start to see some opportunities present themselves. Pound USD, I do like the buys. Should we come all the way back down to this high here? Again, looking for a large correction for that next higher low. So that would be really interesting for me. Dollar CAD, as I've been saying, still looking for the big break of support, and the retest is short. New Zealand dollar, this one I'm still eyes on this consolidation here for a retest, because the breakout wasn't big enough for me to consider a retest of this high. And you see a lot more upside before I consider a breaking retest of that high. So this for me is still very much on. Silver, again, was looking for the retest of the high there, but looks like we just about missed it, and price is not far off creating new highs. So gonna let silver be silver. And gold, still looking for buys. Still do think we can get a move to the downside and probably take out the lows here. But as long as we don't break through this wick low around 27.80, I'm still bullish longer term on gold. Looking for a big move up. Good morning, Samuel. Welcome to the stream. What's up? More. Miss you too, my man. Welcome. Good morning, D Forex trader. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. So yeah, let me have a quick look at the news, because I remember, I don't know if it was Thursday or Wednesday, we had PC, jobless claims, all that USD stuff. Okay, so it looks like it's Thursday. Or is it? Yeah. Okay, so today's pretty smooth sailing. There's not a lot happening. I mean, we had a bunch of Euro news and Aussie news early morning, but going forward, there's not really much. Maybe apart from Germany inflation rate. But yeah, nothing really this afternoon. Thursday is the day I was thinking of. But yeah, pretty smooth sailing for the rest of the day. I mean, I'll go through my watch list real quick. Dollar Swiss was looking good yesterday, but I didn't enter any positions because it just missed out on the 50%. I said I'm looking for price to see if we can grab the 50 and also come back and retest this level here on the left, which it did, but I was hoping we can see some bigger wicks driving through, tagging the 50 before looking to long. So yeah, just missed out on that opportunity. I mean, we still could come back down and roll over again, so I think that's a good possibility, but that is where I am interested in, and I'm looking to buy dollar Swiss, we're still looking bullish overall. You can see the daily chart still pushing up higher. We are coming back to an area where we could sell off, but after this kind of dramatic kind of move here and a big recovery, I do think now the probability does lie with a move back to the high. If for some reason we do come back down and break structure, then I will of course shift my bias back to bearish and then look for selling opportunities going forward. But for now we haven't done that. Nice break of structure above the high here to the upside. Now looking for a higher low for a higher high. So that is the plan with dollar CHF. I just wanted a bit more retracement before taking a position. Didn't quite see that, but maybe we do have that one more down move before we push up. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. Other pairs still have a while to go before I do take any positions. I mean, pound Aussie's still in that area. I'm not the biggest fan of the wick we left early hours of the morning here. It probably does mean that we're probably going to get another push higher, but I need to see some strong rejection as we come back to the high for me to then look to set it back down again, because the wicks here, especially with the momentum here we had on the left, looks to me like price is putting in a bit of a flag pattern there, and we could be seeing continuation to go higher. So if that's the case, that's the case. We're going to break through the level and we're going to keep going. I'm not interested in the buys, I'm only interested in the sells. So what I want to see is some strong rejection like we're seeing here, but to the upside, telling me that, okay, we're failing that continuation. Momentum's trying to push higher, but it's failing. And then I'll anticipate a double top or something like that and price rolling back over. But for now, really strong wicks to the downside. So expecting some movement up. We'll see what we do at the highs there. But I'm still short bias, as I was talking about yesterday, as long as we don't take out this level here, which was the previous swing high, which gave us this low. As long as we don't take that out, I'm looking for a lower high somewhere in this region for price to roll over. Good morning, Anis. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. D4, I have a question. What can you say about the following fourth market structure? I'm waiting for a pullback. What do you mean the fourth market structure? Waiting for a pullback in 1 hour to join the trend. Is it a good thing? Oh, silly me. I thought you said fourth. That is 4 hour market structure. My brain's not switched on. About the following 4 hour market structure, is there a particular market you're talking about or just in general? The 4 hour market structure and wait for a pullback in an hour to join the trend is a good thing to do. I mean, that's kind of how I sit myself up in the market. I do use the daily chart as a good confluence in terms of the higher time frame direction. Most of the time I want to position myself in favor of that direction, but I use the 4 hour and hour to pinpoint my levels and hourly for entries. So yeah, I mean, typically the idea is to understand higher time frames and understand direction, then use that to trade on the lower time frame to maximize your risk reward and get a better entry overall. So yeah, that's the idea. Whether you use hourly and 4 hour or 4H and daily or hourly and daily, the idea is just to understand higher time frames and drop to the lower time frame to do that. For me, I do like using the 4H as my levels to work with and the hourly to enter because they're not too far apart. 4H candles only for 1 hour candles, so hourly still does have some meaning there. But yeah, my biggest tip is use your daily charts for your direction to make sure you're in line with the bigger players. And yeah, hourly's a really good time frame to use to enter. Yeah, I understood more. I don't know what I was thinking in the first place. But yeah, if you want to use the lower time frame to enter, I highly recommend it. It does mean you will incur a few more losses because you have a bit more fake outs on lower time frames, but it would the risk reward will make up for it basically. So yeah, I do agree. What's up, Poppy? yeah, time frame should line up 100%. If they're contradicting, then it's not a really good sign. You want synchronicity. You want things to agree with each other, and that's confluence for your trade in the first place. William, can you take a look at USD CAD? I took 2 positions yesterday on the correction, got stopped out because my entries were a bit bad. Okay, we'll take a look. But yeah, if your entries again were according to your plan and you did everything right, then it's not necessarily a bad entry. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, it might look like a bad entry given the context of the market. But as long as you're following your edge, there isn't really a bad entry unless you deviated from that. Because you always will lose trades no matter how good your entry is, and then you don't want to say, okay, I had a bad entry. No, it was probably a good entry. It's just it was just a losing position, which is of course 100% guaranteed no matter how you trade. So sometimes that's just the case. It's just charge it to the game. Other times maybe you did take a bad entry, and of course need to revise that and look back on it. But you said you took 2 positions yesterday on the correction, got stopped out. Was that sells, I assume? William, were you taking some sells? So as price was pushing up, you're trying to anticipate some more downside. I mean, I am bearish too on USD CAD. I'm expecting downside for the currency as well. I do think there's a good chance we get back to the low and actually break through. But I think a good tip is when you are looking for entries, try and position yourself closer to the extremes of the market conditions. For example, if you're trading in a condition like this, you kind of want to be selling in this kind of territory. There is a tool for this, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, let me choose the line tool. You kind of want to be selling in this type of territory here. So if you're looking to short and anticipate the market going down, okay, yeah, it was sells, the lower low got touched, so I entered when it go down. Okay, so yeah, so you're trying to anticipate a lower high and the market continuing selling off. So that's perfectly fine, makes a lot of sense. But I would say make sure you position yourself appropriately as well, given the context of the market, because this is borderline consolidation. Really, there is a slight downtrend to it. If I kind of clone this as well, bring it down, there is a slight bearish trend to it. So that's obviously a good thing if you're looking for sells as well. But you want to position yourself higher up in the market, because in this area here, you're going to get maximum fluctuation, maximum indecision in the market. Not that you can't find a good trade in this area, it's just a lot tougher, and you're gonna the chance of you getting stopped out is going to be a lot higher due to just an extended pullback, if you will. If you're looking to take your trades in this area here, excuse me, if you're looking to take your trades in this area here, you're a lot safer. You're a lot safer because you're closer to the extremes. You're closer to where price is more likely to form a lower high, and more likely to react. Buyers try to anticipate price to push up again. Naturally will be taking profit in this area, or maybe at the high there as well. So it makes a bit more sense to position yourself a little bit higher up. Let people have their fun in here. It's always going to be difficult in that area. But same thing for the buyers. If you're looking to buy the market, wait for us to hit the extremes of the low or the channel low here. You have you have a higher probability that the market will snap in your direction, because effectively what we are looking at is mean reversion. We've seen a move in the market. We're looking for the market to retrace, have a breather, and then continue in that direction. So you kind of want to catch the market when that mean reversion has kind of hit its limit, hit its top or bottom, and then you're looking to follow it in that direction. So in here, we're kind of 50-50, nothing's really too clear. But if we can come a little bit higher, that naturally you are going to be closer to the limit, and naturally you got a higher chance that price will snap in that direction. It's not going to be perfect. You'll still have losses as well, 100%. But at least you put probability a bit more in your favor. So my biggest tip would be aware of the condition in the market. Try and position yourself closer to the extremes. Doesn't have to be right at the top of everything, but just where you've got a greater chance where price will snap in your direction. And yeah, that should help and kind of limit some of those losing trades, which are kind of in this area, which is always going to be difficult to buy or sell, really. Voice is very croaky today. But yeah, hopefully that made a bit more sense. I mean, I myself, I'm looking for sells as well, but I'm waiting for price to break support first, which is this big old level here, roughly. And then I'm looking for a big pullback to retest that same level, and then some shorts there, hopefully trying to catch that next lower high. So of course we've got one over here, second over there, third, fourth. Maybe you can catch a fifth. Maybe if you extend the lines down to some degree, might line up quite nicely with the top of the channel there somewhat. It's not perfect, but at least it's closer to the extremes as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for dollar CAD. I'm looking at some more downside, but I want to see some follow through first. Because if you think about it, there's only two ways you're wrong in the market, really. One way is that you're in the right direction, but price just stops you out first. Say, for example, you buy here and your stop loss is here. Say the market pushes down a little bit, hits your stop loss, and then moves in direction. Or the second way you're wrong in the market is price moves in your price as a trend, you wait for a pullback, and you enter the market, stop loss somewhere here, and price, you're just in the wrong direction completely, and it just completely tanks. Those are the only two ways really you're wrong in the market. And the best way to counteract that is, in my opinion, a simple way just to help in terms of this scenario is to make sure that you're in favor of higher time frame trend. So that gives you a bit more edge that way. Excuse me, my voice is very crooked today. And this way is just buying a little bit deeper down, waiting for confirmation a little bit later. Of course, it might mean you miss some entries, but at least that could improve your win rate. More, I'm going to eat lunch, no problem. Be right back. My friend's back soon, no problem. Have a good lunch. Follow the trend. What is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. So yeah, going forward, I'm still keeping a close eye on the yen pairs. We've had a little bit of a dip in the yen pairs, but nothing crazy. Yeah, a bit of a spike to the downside this morning. So yeah, it looks like the yen pairs are having a little bit of breather, but in my book, these guys are still so bullish. So yeah, I wouldn't really touch them in terms of any selling opportunities. I think pound yen did take up the high there yesterday. Yeah, it did. So yeah, with the yen pairs, the ones I'm interested in is euro yen, CAD yen, and pound yen. Those are the ones I'm looking to buy. But I need a bit more retracement than that. That's kind of like a slight dip, maybe lower time frames. That could be enough excuse to try and get long. But yeah, for me, I need a little bit more of a dip than that. The 4H for me to be getting interested. CAD yen, I'm looking at two areas. This area here, which I'm interested in now, should we get there, or the break and retest of this level. But I need price to have a bigger breakout before I do consider a retest of that same level. It looks like we're having a retest now, but the breakout's not big enough or strong enough for me to be interested in taking part. And pound's already had a massive breakout, and I'm interested already if we pull back to around 198. Trying to see if I can catch that next higher low, which is one over there, second over there, and maybe a third on the retest of that area. But yeah, yen pairs to me still look very, very bullish. No problem. Happy to help William. FX Wolf, all yen pairs still moving. Yes, they are. Morning. Yeah, yen pairs are still looking strong. It's difficult. It's difficult with them because I'm only going to look to buy them, especially in these climate, in this condition. But I need to see a bit of a relief, like kind of what we had here. You know, kind of a big bearish candle pushing us down. If you can kind of see something like that, that would be nice. For the trend, can we please talk about pound CHF? I know CHF is super weak, but we're in prime area. Could we possibly look for sells back to 115? Okay, we'll take a look at pound CHF. Now that's some pure price action. I agree, Sculpey. I agree 100%. Poppy, the only trade that tempts me in any way is selling pound Aussie. I concur as well. I do like pound Aussie. I'll take a look at it in a second, but with pound CHF, I haven't really been keeping tabs on this one, to be honest. Okay, we had a really big breakout of the high. So you are looking for some sells. Yeah, naturally probably would be a time for some retracement now. The fact is we're taking out some big highs here on the left. And we've had a really exceptional move higher. So naturally probably going to get a pullback. I would still expect more upside. Judging how prices are looking, the key structure we've broken as well. Especially how impulsive we are. So if we do see some downside, I do think it's probably just price finding another high low. Maybe coming back to retest some structure on the left, looking for its next swing. So I'd still be longer term bullish on pound CHF. But yeah, maybe short, medium term, some sales make sense. You said 115, which is this area here. I don't know what's going on with my throat. So yeah, 115 looks good. That's essentially where I said we could see a bounce for longs. But excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, my throat doesn't want to work today. Testing 1 2 3. Okay, we're good to go. So yeah, I would be looking for buys closer to 115. Sales not really my forte. I wouldn't really be looking for sell opportunities here. Again, I'm normally looking at pro trend opportunities which favor the higher time frames. So although yes, I would expect to see a bigger retracement at some point, I'd rather wait for that bigger retracement to happen and then try and find the higher low to take it back up again. That's kind of where I'll look to position myself in this market. But sales I can get behind. Have we come back to any like significant area on the left here? I mean, I suppose maybe the lows here, there's a lot of rejection there, so it does look like a place where we could pull back. I mean, in terms of current price action, I'm not really seeing anything that would excite me for some sales, really. Price is trying to form a higher low over here, so that's not particularly great. I mean, maybe if you can fail at the highs and come back down, that in turn could open a nice trade there. Something like this. But yeah, I wouldn't try and short anything right now. If anything, we could even make another higher high and kind of correctively push up before we see that big relief which you're talking about. So yeah, pound CHF, I do expect to see a big retracement. Will it come in the next wave? Not too sure. I'm not really seeing much that's telling me that, okay, price is about to sell off. So I would wait for some changes in structure to indicate that, okay, we're bearish now, or the buyers are failing to take price higher. And then that would be a little bit more interesting in terms of sales. But for me, I'm looking to see if I can buy from 115. That to me looks like a nice prime area. So yeah, in terms of pound Aussie, I do like pound Aussie shorts. We are still trading a really nice level of broken. If I go to the daily chart, see it a bit clearer. So we do have this swing low here on the left, and we do have this this resistance here at 1.92. So essentially what I'm looking for is a lower high here. As I said earlier in the stream, as long as we don't break through this swing high, which gave us this low, I am happy to be looking to sell. I must admit the current price action is not looking too particularly great, but again, things can change quite quickly. We've had a really big impulse to the upside, and this to me, if anything, looks a bit like a correction, a bull flag, if you will, for price to try and push higher. So there's nothing wrong in that, especially sometimes these patterns could be really good to sell if that momentum kind of fails. So we try and continue higher, price comes back into the high, and we kind of fail aggressively at the high. These often turn into some really nice trades that just roll over. But yeah, we need to see some strong rejection, because right now it looks like we're probably going to get a move higher. So we'll see what price does as we approach the highs of the resistance again. But I want to see wicks like this pointing up, and yeah, shift the momentum, and then I'll be looking to sell. But yeah, as long as we don't take out the high, as I said, for pound Aussie, I'm still bearish on this one. But yeah, those wicks this morning tell me that price is likely to drive higher. But we'll see how high we go through. So yeah, pound Aussie, that's what I'm looking at. No problem, follow the trend, happy to help. Scalpy, don't trade just for the sake of trading. If there's nothing clear, walk away. 100%. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Again, because sometimes you feel like you're not doing anything in trading, especially if you don't have a trade open. It feels like, what you're doing, you're wasting time, sort of thing. Trading, it's not like a linear thing where the more active you are, the more money you make. So to a certain degree, yes, because you have to take trades, but they have to be good trades. They have to fit a plan well. They have to have good confidence, good characteristics, which make a good trade. It's always best to not take a trade at all than take a rubbish trade. Even if you haven't taken a trade in a while and you feel like you're not doing anything, it's always best to not do anything. If you do have the urge, just put it into a demo account rather than a live account or account that has meaning to you. Just put it in a demo account and to kind of scratch that itch. And then after a while, you can see if it's worthwhile taking those type of trades. Is the demo account growing or not growing? And then you know that okay, maybe I shouldn't take these setups. But anyway, so yeah, with pound Aussie, hopefully we can get that rejection of the high, and then I'll see what price can do. I'm also looking at Euro NZD still, but I'm not too sure if I'll see the pullback I'm after. It's struggling down here. It is still looking quite corrective, but the level I'm looking to trade from is this big old level up here, trading around 1.78600. That is the level I'm looking to trade from. I like it because it's quite corrective here in this descending channel. So there's a good chance we'll see a big move higher, but how big will it be? Will it get to the level? Of course, everything you won't have the answer to until we actually see it happen. But all I know is that this is the level I'm interested in. Should we get there, I would be looking at opportunities to short and looking to see if we can take it back to the low here. Again, looking for that next lower high. And if that is the next lower high, there's a pretty good chance we make it to the low. So that's the plan I have with Euro NZD. Pound Aussie is a lot more closer to setting up, so that would have my attention for now. I think Euro NZD might not even form this week as well. I mean, it's already Wednesday, already halfway through the week, so it might be a setup for next week. Pound Aussie looks like a decent chance at testing making another order. What do you mean by that, Poppy? Another order? Morning, Noradine. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, pound Aussie to me looks like it's got a good possibility of pushing up again back to the high here, especially with the wicks here. I would anticipate some follow through back to the high, and then for me it just depends what we do at that high, and then that would tell me if I'm looking to sell or stay out the way and let it kind of just explode higher. Looking at pound entity, its partner in crime, this one doesn't look great in particular. Bit like a descending channel there, might pop higher. I'm not really interested in that type of move for pound entity. And Euro Aussie, have no idea what this one's doing. I mean, higher time frames, I'm still pretty bearish. Still looking at move back into the low here. So yeah, still looking at this as being high, lower high, lower high. So anticipating move back into the low. But what's doing now, I have no idea. It's just a weird consolidation, really. I did point out this level here, which price may want to revisit. Come back and retest that, form a lower high, and then roll over. I think that would be a really smart place for a long, because anything in here is really difficult to trade, really, because we're just seeing back and forth and just kind of weird price action altogether. So I want to stay far away from price action here and see if we can push up higher, show some rejection, and then get a sell-off. That could be what we're looking for Euro Aussie. Bit of a fake move higher to get that sell-off. But yeah, I am bearish, so looking for short opportunities, but in there, I'm staying far, far away. Like Shrek. In terms of gold and silver, still looking at longs. I think silver, I've missed the boat for that one. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of an ask to see silver roll all the way back down to this low after be so close to taking out that high. So I'm kind of shifting my attention to gold now. I think there's a good chance for another sell-off for gold, and then maybe some buys after that, or we might kind of mess around a little bit and then see the push higher. But yeah, still very bullish on gold, but short term bearish. Especially after all of that momentum last week. This to me just looks like a big bear flag, big correction. We're likely going to see some follow through of that move. KBL1 equities selling off. Do you trade indices? No, I do not. I stick with Forex, gold and silver, but I do keep tabs on the major indices just to see what's cooking. Yeah, you're right. US 30 down, S&P is down. Of course, not as much as US 30, and same with US 100. US 30 is really the one that's selling off completely, which I was not expecting, to be honest. I don't like the fact. I don't like how he sold off as well. It's not really that attractive for the buyers. The fact that we came right to the high there and just decided to melt like that. It's not like we pushed through and gave really nice higher high then sold off. Then yeah, I would be quite confident that that's just another pullback for price to push off from. But the fact is, we came back into the high and sold off. Yeah, give me double top vibes. So yeah, not looking as attractive for long. Sure, maybe some short-term buys could come into play as we do approach this high here. We might see some short-term buys come into play. Back into the consolidation here, but there's still a pretty good chance that we continue selling off. Thoughts on pound buys? Okay, I'll take a look at pounds. We expect further fall. I'm starting experimenting orders instead of manual trades. Hard to get an entry with those candlesticks. Yeah, I suppose so. Of course, there's always going to be pros and cons with taking market execution, entering trades as you see it, or using orders. There's pros and cons to using both. You just have to find which works. Sometimes you could use both really. I know some traders that use both depending on the setup. Not as in both, but they choose between the two. I agree very much. Okay, is that for dollar? Gold, Sculpey. Yeah, gold looks weak. I'm short USD. Long you're doing what I'm doing, messing up. Long USD. So yeah, gold. I do think we can see some more downside. I'm still very bullish on gold, and I'm not really interested in the shorts. I think if you're looking intraday, then yeah, shorts do look pretty attractive there if you're intraday. But for me, I'm still interested in that bigger swing to the upside, which I still believe is at play. As long as we don't take up the low here, I'm still looking for that bigger swing to the upside. So I'm still very much a bull, but I can see with the current price action, especially with that heavy sell-off we had last week. And now the fact is we're seeing some upside, but it's still so corrective. Price is trying to fight higher, but we're not really seeing much of a shift in momentum really. So I do think the bears will probably be victorious, send price down again. But as long as we don't completely sell off and break the low, I do expect us to form a higher low at some point and keep pushing up. So yeah, for euro pound buys, follow the trend. Yeah, euro pound buys, they do make sense because we have come back into a pretty big level of support. As I was highlighting yesterday, we've come back into this area where we bounced there, pretty much bounced here. I know it's not accurately on the wick, but we have come back into this vicinity of support really, where the market keeps rejecting, and of course we come back down there again. So naturally, it's in a place where you could buy. Well, it makes a lot of sense to buy. You can see euro pound as well as being very choppy. So yeah, I do like the buys from here. I mean, it's not really, again, my type of trade because I still would, I was going to say the trend's bearish, but it's not really bearish, is it? There's a slight kind of bearish tint to it, but I would say this is more of a consolidation than a trending market, really. But again, if you're going to look to trade a consolidation, look to trade a range, the best way to trade it is buy and sell at the extreme. So when price is kind of at the bottom of the range, bottom of the consolidation, that's where you're looking to place your longs, and of course vice versa with the sell. So I like the wick as well. Really nice aggressive wick, piercing the wick, the previous wick over here. So I really like that wick there in the 4H time frame, and the hourly there too. Maybe a strong close in the hourly could be a nice entry signal. Stop loss underneath the wick, and trying to ride it, back to some highs here on the left, and then see what happens after that. Because we could see a really big move to the upside if euro pound once, or it could just be a slight reaction before we roll over. Either which way, push to this area could be enough to get you break even or take some partials or something like that. And then you can walk away and see what price does next. Do we roll over, or do we keep pushing in your direction? So yeah, in terms of a location, it makes a lot of sense to be looking for longs here. I like the longs after that big wick there to the downside. So I do like what I see. But yeah, not really my type of conditions because it's quite choppy. Not a fan of euro pound as of late. But definitely a place where we could see a bounce and some buyers step into the market, especially for that wick there as well. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I think gold, we're in an A, B, C, D correction and currently in the last wave down before move higher up. Expecting push back down to the lows before another impulse to the upside, short-term bearish. Yeah, long-term bullish. Yeah, I fully agree. Sculpey, I fully agree as well. It does look like we are doing something of that nature, a bit of a correction here. And there's a good chance we're probably going to see some follow through now, especially with that kind of last big move to the upside yesterday. maybe taking out some orders above the high there, big wick there. Now that momentum's kind of failed, we're kicking back bearish. So yeah, I think there's a good chance we do spill over. I do think this low is likely to be taken out as well. It's a very, very kind of weak low, strong momentum, even a slight move higher. I do think we'll probably see a follow through below that. And then once that happens, then I'll start being a little bit more interested in some longs to take it back up again. Like I said, as long as we don't take out the low here, I'm looking to buy gold. If we do take out the low, not necessarily bearish, but I wouldn't be so actively looking to long anymore. And it's interesting because silver's been so strong. But gold hasn't. So I feel like silver is kind of ahead of gold a little bit. So I think gold's got some catching up to do. But yeah, still looking at buying both. Lax Euro USD, I'll take a look. If I have missed out a pair, just let me know. Drop it down in the chat and I'll take a look. So yeah, Euro USD, I'll have a look. Ben, Euro Pound just ran last year's low. Could definitely see some upside. Yeah, I agree. Big wick to the downside, come back into a very, very strong, significant level in the market. There's a good chance we do see some upside. There is a very good chance we do. Raymond, what is up? Can you analyze the USD? Yes, I will take a look. Scorpio also reacting to the 50 EMA and the 4H. Let me take a look, see. Yes, it is as well. Yes, it is. Strong rejection there. So yeah, I think there is a good chance we do see some follow through. Just a simple impulse correction, impulse pattern. So yeah, gold does look like some more downside. So yeah, if you're intraday, I think sells are your best bet for now. And then we'll see what price does if we take out that low. In terms of Euro USD, I was long on this one yesterday, but I have been stopped out for roughly 0.75R in profit. I was trailed around there. So yeah, I said if price does come back down there again, I'll look for some more entries, but doesn't look like we are doing that so far. I'm still pretty bullish on Euro USD. I do think that we can still get back to the high. I'm looking at the DXY. I still think DXY's got a good shot making it back to the low. I think this is probably just some minor retracement on the lower time frames before we do get a sell-off. Of course, I could be wrong. If we see a big move up, taking out that high, then I'll reinvestigate. But for now, I do think we can probably see another push down. But yeah, for Euro USD, in terms of actually finding a good trade, I would have to be waiting for price to approach the 1.08 level again before I do look for longs. It'd be nice maybe if you can push down, maybe just about take out that low there and have a bigger push up. That could be interesting to me. Where we are right now is kind of consolidation, if anything, really, with Euro USD. Equal highs, and we don't really have an equal low there, but it's not really doing too much. We're seeing quite corrective price action, a lot of wicks, not a lot of momentum in these parts right now. So Euro USD is not really interesting to me in the middle of that kind of range. I need price to push back down, back to the low here, and then that would interest me. Of course, we could still push up from here. We don't have to push down. Price doesn't have to do what I want it to. But this is definitely the level where I would like to position myself long and look for opportunities to buy. Anywhere else, not really what I want to be seeing. So yeah, Euro USD still bullish, looking for a push back to the high, but I do need price to come back down first. USD, similar situation. I'm looking at longs as well. Really nice move to the upside. We broke through some structure. It's bloody flying here that keeps trying to headbutt me. But anyway, so USD, we've seen a really nice move to the upside. We broke structure here on the left, and we left behind a really nice consolidation here around 0.60400. So I'm looking for some buys from that area. We did see a bit of a pop to the upside, but not enough for me to consider breaking retest of the high there. So I'm still looking for a bigger retracement into this level, 0.60400, and from there, looking for longs for this one as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for NZD/USD. Still pretty bullish on this one. Again, dollars, it's an interesting one. It's not clear. It's not clear cut really, because I'm kind of still shorter term bearish, but longer term bullish, if you will. I'm looking at these higher lows here. Still looking to see if we can place another one. So yeah, kind of what I'm expecting for gold really, but the inverse of that. Because with dollar I'm expecting some weakness and then some upside. But of course, if that's the case, then you should expect gold to do the opposite. But no. So yeah, I feel like price action is a little bit out of sync a little bit, especially USD wise. So yeah, being smart with the entries, being smart with my trades. But I still do like Euro USD. I still do like NZD/USD. I just need to wait for it to come to my areas, wait for price to come to me, and then I'll get involved. Price action kind of sucks. Yeah, it hasn't been the best, to be honest, compared to previous, even previous years, to be honest, hasn't been that great. It just means you have to be a bit smarter. That's all it means, really. Because, price action can be simple if you make it simple. Understanding market conditions for me is very, very important. And once you understand the condition of the market, you kind of know where it's appropriate to be looking to buy, where it's appropriate to be looking to sell. Doesn't mean you'll be right at the time. You still have losses, you still have losing streaks 100%. But at least you can position yourself accordingly to what the market is doing. Whatever bias you have, whether you're looking to sell or buy, really. And typically in conditions where we're kind of choppy, we're consolidating a lot, you just want to position yourself near the high, near the low, and you put probability a bit more in your favor. And when I mean high and low, I mean the major high and major low as well. Aussie dollar, this one's horrendous. What is Aussie dollar doing with its life right now? This is horrendous price action. I've been looking for a breakout. We did see one originally down here. This is the one I got some shorts in. I was taken out for like 1 hour profit. I think I was trailed out around there. Then here's when I got stopped out for a loss. I tried to follow that move higher. And now price is kind of just back and forth a little bit. It's not too sure if he wants to break through or hold it. So yeah, Aussie dollar is just not really clear to me. So I'm not really interested in trading it. It's either price breaks the high and does it confidently, then I'm looking at pullbacks to buy, or price just rejects the high and we come back in the range, and if we do that, I'm not interested anyway. I don't want to be trading inside the range anyway there. So yeah, Aussie dollar for me looks atrocious right now, and I'm not looking to touch that with a 10-foot pole until price action clears up. Again, for me, direction is very important as well. I need to understand direction with clarity. If direction is kind of then there's no real point me taking a trade, because direction is part of my edge as well. So if the direction isn't there, then there's no point in me looking to buy and sell if I'm not expecting price to move in that direction in the first place. So direction's got to be clear. And in this instance for Aussie dollar, for the way I trade, direction is not clear. So I'm not going to be looking to buy anymore until it does clear up. The Pello, what is up? Please check your NZD. Okay, we'll take a look. Follow the trend. Miko, could you share Euro Aussie is why Euro Aussie is going higher after Aussie CPI print this morning? Yeah, we'll take a look. Again, still a very technical trader, but again, I'm not really looking to see what the impact. Well, I do look at the impact news has, but from a technical perspective. So, how has the news reacted? Are we bullish? Are we bearish? Are we broken structure? Are we holding structure? That's kind of how I take into account news, rather than interest rates are up, so I'm expecting this currency to be strong for the next few weeks. Let me just look for buy opportunities. That's not really how I look to trade the market. So yeah, I'll explain from a technical standpoint, but fundamentals is not what I take into account for my trading decisions. But Euro entity, I'm looking to sell. I am looking to sell this one right now, kind of moving this descending channel right now, which typically does mean a move to the upside. And we have left behind a really nice level of support, so I'm looking for us to come back and retest that as resistance. Haven't really had a retest on the full H yet, so for me it's still a nice fresh level should we get back there. And again, what I'm essentially looking for USD is just another lower high. We've got one over there, second over there. I'm looking at a third and a push back to the low. So the way I'm anticipating more downside for USD is just simply, again, a retest of that level and some follow through. We've had some attempts to try and go bullish here. It's failed. We just formed a lower high, and then we had a pretty big break of the low here. So that tells me that price isn't likely to do that. If it is going to do that, most likely it's going to push to the low first and then do that, rather than just do it randomly over here. Of course, it's all probabilities, so it could do it randomly over there if it wants to, but if it does really want to push up, there's a great chance it does it from the low here, hence why I'm trading it in that direction. And yeah, we've left behind a really nice level of support, so I'm looking for that as a retest for resistance. It's a pretty healthy pullback. I think we're close to the 50 there. So yeah, maybe if we wick into the 50, that would be nice as well. And yeah, just looking for another lower high. Once I get direction down and understand which way I want to trade, that for me is half the work. And then the other half is just finding a good location to take a trade and waiting for an entry signal to set up. Once I know which way I want to trade it's kind of eliminated half the work. If I'm looking to sell, then I kind of forget anything about the buys. It could be a really nice buy setup that forms, but I'm not going to be looking into it because I've already decided I want to sell. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro NZD. Euro Aussie. Yeah, Euro Aussie, we are seeing some upside. Euro is a little bit strong this morning. And I think Aussie is a little bit weak. If you compare Euro USD to Aussie dollar, you can see Aussie dollar kind of pushing down a little bit. Euro USD were pushing up a little bit. So it does look like there's a big contrast between Euro and Aussie at the moment. Fundamentally, again, not something I'm looking into, so I won't know the answer to that. But from a technical standpoint, Euro Aussie for me is just trading within a range right now, so I'm not interested in pricing here. I do want price to push up though, and then I'm interested in taking it back down again, back into the low at 1.61763. Again, same sort of thing which I explained for USD, looking for another lower high, one over there, second, third, and a push back down into the low is where I'm expecting price to end up. So yeah, for me, I want price to kind of break away, get away from all of this noise here, come into some fresh resistance up high, where we form this lower high here as well. And maybe that could end up being a nice place to sell, depending how we react and what type of entry signals I get. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Euro Aussie. Yeah, I would avoid trading in here. It's too messy. We could be forming a high low to push higher, or that could still end up being a lower high and we come back down. I would wait for price to at least push away from that noise, and then we can do something. So yeah, that's kind of my take on Euro NZD, Euro Aussie. Fundamentals can be confusing. They can be. Again, I feel like with fundamentals, it's the same with technicals. You just have to understand what you're getting into, what you're doing. Technicals can be confusing as well. You just want to simplify it down. Focus on what you're looking at, and look to dig deep rather than wide. Same thing with technicals, same thing with fundamentals. Because again, fundamentals can be grey as well. Some people have different opinions on different things, and sometimes the market reacts in one way and you expect it to react the other way because of a certain news release. And then you have to research why the market did this or why it did that. So it's a bit more grey, fundamentals. It's not really black and white, and technicals can be black and white. So I do like that perspective from technicals. But if you're going to use fundamentals, you just got to have done your research. Really, it's not something you just throw on top without practicing. UNSD forming a nice tight right shoulder on the daily chart. What's up, Kinsey? Welcome back. Hope you are doing good. It has been a long while. Hope everything is doing well with you. But for Euro NZD, okay, is this the excuse me, is this the left head right shoulder you're looking at? I can see that. It's a bit of a stretch though. It'd be nice if price was already down first and then push up and then formed your left head right shoulder. I must admit that the price action isn't the cleanest in the world on Euro NZD. It isn't that clean. Quite choppy, bunch of wicks. Momentum's not particularly great. It was over here. It's dried up a little bit. So yeah, price action isn't that great. Stock market down, USD down, gold down. I can't make much sense of fundamentals. Yeah, of course, there will be times where correlation doesn't add up really. The way I used to look at correlation was like 100% fact, but now I kind of just look at correlation as more times than not. So USD and gold, I kind of look at that correlation like 75%. There's times where it's like 100% and it's working as you expect it to be, and there's times where it's exactly the opposite, and gold is up and dollar's up as well. So I kind of give the relationship like 75%. So I'm not looking too much into it, but of course there is definitely correlation there. Same for some other currency pairs as well. But yeah, it doesn't always make sense. Market reacts to what's already been priced in. CPI coming in higher than expected must have been priced in, which is why it's selling off now. It's just become a sell the news event. The problem is you never know what's priced in and what isn't true. Yeah, it's more like a hindsight kind of judgment, which a lot of people do kind of say after the market's done a move. Like, okay, this is priced in, or yada yada yada, which is perfectly true, but again doesn't really do too much in terms of finding a trading opportunity before the news. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm a technical trader. That's what I've studied and I've nurtured, so that's what I'm focusing on. I do want to include fundamentals, but it's just going to be like a layer of confluence, and it's going to be relatively basic as well, because I find I use technicals to find direction, but you can also use fundamentals for that. And when I use fundamentals to find direction, it'll probably be for like the next 1 or 2 months rather than a shorter time frame. Good morning, Asim. Welcome to the stream. Euro yen, we'll take a look. Sculpey, I tend to ignore fundamentals now. I am always aware of news release, but never focus on it. Just trade more cautiously. Yeah, I agree as well. Because again, edge is edge at the end of the day. If you got edge in the market, then that should have factored in news anyway. You should have tested your strategy and trade your strategy through news before, so you can actually see if it makes sense to trade through news or to stop trading news or whatever. So you should already know if you got edge and how you should be reacting to news. And if that's the case, then you continue how you would normally do. News is a part of the market. I trade through news. Of course, some I do avoid and some I'm cautious with, the bigger ones. But generally speaking, if I get a setup that fits the plan well, I'm taking. King City doing good. It's been a hell of a month. Good to hear, my man. Good to hear. Dammy gold Yes, I'll take a look at gold. Let me just go through euro yen first. If I have missed out a pair, just let me know. So yeah, euro yen, I am looking at longs for this one. This pair is on the watch list for myself. I do think there's a good chance we take out the wick high here, just like what some other yen pairs have done. Pound yen just did it yesterday. New Zealand yen has already done it. Aussie yen, we're very close, or have we done it? Aussie yen very, very close. I think there's a good chance we do it with Aussie yen. So yeah, I do think euro yen's probably just going to go take out that wick high. So what I want to see from euro yen is a dip lower like we did over here, form the next higher low, and then that could be a really nice buy, take it back up again. I'm looking at a retest of the high here around 169,500 or just below it, and from there is where I'm looking to see if I can get involved for that next higher low. So we've got one over here, second over there, and potentially a third over here. And that for me would be my setup, and then yeah, look and take it back to high or back to the wick high, depending how everything is setting up. But I'll be trading my stop loss anyway. So yeah, euro yen bullish, expecting more upside. Would want to see a bit of relief first before looking to take any longs. But yeah, I do think there's still a good chance we push up and take out that wick high around 170-1,500. Welcome back, Moore. Hope you had a good lunch. Gold, yes, we'll take a look. Hindsight is trade's worst enemy. Trading turns me into Captain Hindsight. Yes, I agree as well. Hindsight is definitely the trade's worst enemy. Shoulda, woulda, coulda is horrendous vocabulary as a trader. You know, I do not like it when people say, "Oh, I should have done this, and I would have made 4%," or "I should have done this, I would be up this." Yeah, but you didn't, mate. You didn't do that. It's about what you did. That's what goes on the score sheet at the end of the day. It's what you did. And there's nothing wrong with what you did as well. If you did something wrong, address it. You know, you move on. You don't want to dwell on it too long. But yeah, hindsight and shoulda, woulda, coulda is horrendous stuff for a trader, because it's about what you see in the moment, it's what you do in the moment. But yeah, for gold, as I've been saying, looking for a move lower first, but still very bullish on gold longer term. Looking to see if we can come back to the highs there at 24.50. I think there's a good chance we do sell off for the time being. In terms of entries, you kind of want to be entering up here. So maybe if we do get another push higher, that could then possibly give a nice entry there. But I wouldn't try and enter down here. This is now not the time and place for a short entry. If anything, it's a better place for a long, although I wouldn't long that, but it would make a bit more sense to long than short. So if you didn't enter up there, you kind of want price to push back up again, or maybe look for enter on a break of a trend line or break of structure. If you're looking for a breakout type of entry, that could be your setup there. But yeah, I'm looking for some intraday moves lower and then a big move higher. Okay, Euro USD. What's up, Holy One of Israel? Welcome to the stream. Buys GJ 191.841. Euro Yen as well, 164.398. Yeah, I'm looking to take some buys on the MPES as well, but need to get some pullbacks. Because again, I'm looking at the full H for a pullback. I understand there's some minor pullbacks here on the lower time frames, and again, if you're intraday, these could be some nice opportunities, 100%. But for me, I'm looking at a bigger pullback, which will take its time. It will happen. It will happen because the market's quite overextended. So we will get that bigger pullback, but when and where, yeah, that's up in the air. How far are you looking to take those buys on GJ and Euro Yen, King City? What do you think of NAS 100? We'll take a look, Danny. But first, Euro USD. So yeah, Euro, I'm looking at buys, but as I said, I want price to move a little bit deeper. At least back into the swing low here where I bought it last week, and then I'll see what I can do there again. For me, this is my area of interest. Previous resistance held as support. Haven't created a new high yet. So if we do come back down, I'll be anticipating some follow through to the upside from that same area. If we do break through, then that's when I'll back away. But in terms of a smart location for a buy, 1.08 is the place which I like. And yeah, that's the only place that makes sense to me for a long. So yeah, hopefully I can find some buys there later this week. But right now, Euro USD for me is the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't really touch it right now for buys or sells. Yeah, I'll wait for price to come back down. So yeah, Euro USD looking for buys, but yeah, my level's down there, so I need to wait for a bigger pullback. So hopefully we can get a trade there. In terms of NAS 100, I'll take a look at that one. Okay, coming up to your take profit now. Yeah, I mean, more's been in a swing as well for a few weeks as well. Been such an impressive move for the M pairs. So yeah, with NAS 100, it's an interesting one because although I'd still be very bullish on this market, now's not really the best time to be looking to buy, of course. The fact is we create a new major high above the high here. Sooner or later, especially with us being quite corrective, we're probably going to get a pullback at some point, and then the buys will look a lot neater to take back up again. But at the same time, I wouldn't be looking to sell just yet. I need price to start breaking through some structure first, and then that could end up being a nice sell. Maybe back to some of these areas I was talking about last week. But yeah, with NAS 100, I'm not. I mean, I know people will be interested to sell at the high there. And I can see the logic behind it. Again, it's just not really my type of trade because again, you got to know your setup, what you're looking for, and trade according to that. I can understand looking for sells, but it's just never really a setup which I would take. If price decides it wants to start breaking lower, take out some lows first, and then yeah, there could be some nice trades on the pullback after that, some counter trend opportunities to take it back down. Sort of what US30 is doing, and then maybe some buys later up if we do form that next high low. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with NAS, looking for a pullback for some longs. If you're interested in some shorter term shorts or counter trend shorts, then that could be brewing up once we break structure. If you're looking for some long term buy opportunities, then yeah, you do want to see a big pullback at some point. But yeah, longer term, everything's still up, so I would still be bullish, but yeah, there's no opportunity to buy this one. More now you want to enter the Euro, well, you should listen to me 5 weeks ago. So true. I remember when you were saying it. I should always listen to more. But yeah, Euro Yen and Pound Yen are both on my watch list. I'm looking at 169.340 for a long. Should we get that pullback? Yeah, we've had a bit of a dip this London session this morning, which then could take us higher. So I don't know. We might not see that big a move I'm after. You might have already had a shake out a little bit, and now price might want to see some follow through. Either which way, the market is very bullish. If it pulls back, I'm there for a buy. Maybe you can add 2 buys. If not, then yeah, it moves without me. Same with pound yen as well. I do like the level here, 198, and we'll see what we can do in that retracement. GJ and Euro, they are the same charts. Yeah, pretty much the same. Of course, Euro and Pound are very similar currencies, and of course, JPY is JPY. So they are pretty similar most of the time, just like Euro and Pound USD. Now last night, it hits my top bit goal. My best trade was 500 pips, now 600. Wow. That's a lot of pips. NAS and 30 have some gaps to fill to the downside. Yeah, we could see price going to fill the gaps, to be honest. Most gaps fill. I'm not sure what the exact probability is, but I know it's pretty high. 165 looks like a mountain. Yeah, it does. 165 is down there. And that is a colossal trade. So yeah, maybe if price does pull back, I can join you in those long, because the way everything is shaping up, pound yen taking out the highs there as well. I think euro yen is most likely going to do that as well. From current price, we've still got about 100 pips to go before we do that. I think once price does that, then we might see a bigger relief. But yeah, I think we're probably going to see some upside. At least they're going to take out that high, and then we'll see what price does. Other yen pairs are a little bit further from their wick high. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm not really seeing much sign that the yen pairs are slowing down. So I would still be expecting more upside. But yeah, out of the yen pairs, the only ones I do like is euro yen, pound yen, CAD yen. I'm waiting for pullbacks on those markets. CAD yen, a bigger pullback to the low here, or a bigger break and then retest. Pound yen, I'm looking at 198, and then euro yen, looking at 169.5. In terms of the dollar pairs, I'll keep an eye on euro USD. Should we get back to that low? Pound USD, I do like this level here at 1.26 for a long. USD CAD, I'm not really interested in until we start to break the low first, and then I'll be looking for my shorts on a retest. As USD, as I said earlier, looking for some longs down there. Silver, not too sure if I can be interested in this anymore, since we just about missed the low. Unless we come back down again. I mean, that could be a possibility. So yeah, if we do come back down low again, that could interest me, but that's a big ask. UCHF, we come a little bit deeper, then I'll be seeing what we can do for longs, and gold as well. Waiting for some longs to set up too. And then yeah, pound Aussie, I'll see what we can do in another retest of the high. Looks like pound Aussie is really starting to push up now. Yeah, it does look like pound Aussie is starting to push up now. So I'll see what we can do when we come back to the high. And same with euro NZD as well, which is quite far off. But besides from that, any other pairs I'm not really interested in. Aussie CAD, nah. NZD CAD, nah. Pound CAD, nah. Euro CAD, not so much either. CHF pairs, not quite doing it for me. I mean, if they do pull back, then yeah. I mean, NZCHF, a big pullback on that, 100%. I'll be looking to long. If we pull back into this area, I will be looking for a really nice long there. This to me is a big range, which we finally had a big breakout of to the upside. So looking for essentially a pullback and a continuation of that. So that to me looks like a really nice opportunity to long. Pound CHF, likewise as well. Should we come back to 115? Euro CHF, that looks okay, but I prefer pound CHF and NZD CHF. CAD CHF, depends what we do outside this range. inside of it. I'm not really interested. And Aussie CHF, yeah, I do like the high here as well. I do like the high there as well. So yeah, CHF pairs do look good, but probably for next week or even the week after. I'm looking at some big pullbacks for them. How did Euro Pound close? Yeah, it did close as nice bullish engulfing, so that could be a nice entry signal there on the hourly chart. Entry there, stop loss below the low. If price is going to bounce and hold this level, this is a very nice signal to get involved with. And if it is going to move, probably going to see a push at least back to the highs here. And this could be a nice point where you start managing your trade. Because, of course, we could still roll over. But, yeah, I do like that entry signal there on the hourly. Wow, you have 20 open positions on Euro Yen. That is really milking Euro Yen for all it's worth. Do you trade your stop loss more? Because I'm wondering how you manage all those 20 positions. Do you like trade your stop loss above them, lock in profit, or do you take partials, or you just hold continuously? Yeah, I remember you did say that you didn't like touch crypto, and never going to touch crypto again. Yeah. Thank you, Pereira, for subscribing. Yeah, I mean that's trading for you. You can give with one hand, take with the other. Give with one, take with the other, and it does that quite a lot. So you got to be prepared. Again, the most important thing is managing risk, and yeah, I think that's the most important thing, managing your risk. Because no matter how well you do, that could always be taken away with just one bad decision. So always got to protect your downside, always got to protect your risk, and that alone will keep you in the game in the long run. But yeah, I mean, crypto, the way I look at crypto is it's just another market. It does have its moments. It does move a little bit more differently to your traditional FX markets. So yeah, for that reason, I don't really look to trade it. But I know some people that do, and in terms of its volatility and its momentum, it can be a very, very good market to trade. But yeah, you gotta be switched on. You can't be YOLOing anything on Bitcoin, really. Because that can change very, very quickly. Yeah, going forward, I hope to see we can see a pullback in dollar Swiss. I'm not too sure if we will. It's looking pretty bullish right now. So yeah, maybe that opportunity has gone, but we'll see. But besides from that, pound Aussie is probably my next best bet, coming back into that same high. Now I have bad luck when I put stop loss. It always comes to test me, so I was just watching the trades every few hours, and if I see something reverse, I do put a stop loss, but most of the time I'll manage it myself. Oh, okay. No problem, Ben. Have a good one, man. Hope to see you tomorrow. But yeah, okay, so watching it every few hours, see some reverse, I put a stop loss. What's the time? Okay, fair enough. I mean, of course, if all your eggs in one basket, that's where your attention is going to be devoted to. So, how often do you check Euro Yen then? Pound USD, okay, we'll take a look. Poppy, it's crazy. I tilt easily when trading the charts. I never tilt when I'm long-term investments go down. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with long-term investments, your head's in the long term. You're not really thinking about the right now. You're not really thinking about the right now, so you kind of aware that the fruits of your labor will come, years from now or months from now. Whereas trading, you're always thinking about the right now. You want to win your next trade. You want to be paid today or this week or this month. So it's a lot easier to be emotional because you're expecting your horizon's a lot closer to, so it's a lot more close. Trying to think of another word, but couldn't. It's a lot closer. So I feel like you're going to be a lot more emotional because you're trying to be rewarded now rather than later. Whereas in investing, you're focused for the future. So you're prepared to suffer drawdown. You're prepared to not be in profit straight away. Whereas trading, you kind of want to be in profit right now. So I feel like that have a big emotional impact. But yeah, for pound USD, I am bullish. I am looking for a lot more upside here going forward. I do think long term, well, I've been talking about 1.28. I'm pretty sure, have we tagged it? I'm pretty sure we have tagged 1.28. So are we expecting some type of relief in price, a bit of a correction, some downside for pound, which could mean some really nice selling opportunities as we approach that level. But I want to be seeing a pullback, a higher low, and a push back up. That for me looks like a nice opportunity. I think there's a good chance we do take out the high there as well, because essentially, if this is a big fake to the downside, taking out the lows here, then I'm expecting price to use that fake out in order to break higher, because that's the whole point of a fake out really, is that we fake out one way to then go the other. So if price is going to fake out these lows and potentially form another higher low here, 1, 2, 3. If you are forming another higher low and faking out some of these minor lows here, I do expect price to use that as fuel to head higher and potentially take out the high there as well. So pound USD, I do think long term we've got some good reason to believe that more upside is likely. In terms of a smart place for a long, then for me that would be coming back into this level here. We didn't get the retest on the 4H at least. I think it does line up with the 50% of the fib as well. So for me, that looks like a really nice level for some upside. So maybe we can break through this, push into the area, next high low forms, we take it back up. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with pound USD. Hopefully we can see a bigger retracement, but I am very, very bullish on this one. 1.26 for 1.265 is where I'm looking to see if I can get involved. But for now, since we approach the high of the range, 1.28, you can probably see some downside, so maybe some short-term sells look good as well. But for me, I'm focused on the longs. One of my stocks was down 40% a few months back. I checked it yesterday, it's up 60%. Wow. And I suppose you didn't break a sweat, Poppy? Wake up at 8 a.m. and see what happened. Then every 2 hours I open my phone, but I do like not watching it because it's always trying to affect our psychology. The market is a killer. Yeah, I agree. I agree as well. I think watching it too much, you increase the chances of doing something stupid. The more you watch your trade, the higher the chances you're gonna either close too early or do something that wasn't ideal, wasn't optimal. So yeah, you do need to have that kind of balance. Of course, you do need to manage your trades, so you have to be at the charts at some point. But yeah, I think keeping it systematic, like you said, every 2 hours, I think that's a good kind of approach, because you got your intervals when you check the market. It's not kind of just random. Okay, let me just pull it out, whilst I'm having lunch. I mean, if it lines up with an interval, then yeah. But sometimes you get bored and you just check the charts, and then you want a bit of excitement sometimes. So yeah, I agree. Less is more. So the less I'm on the trade, the more profit from it. Less is more from trading. Yes, 100%. Less is definitely more. In a lot of things, it's more. Trading is definitely one of them. But yeah, I'm still, I don't know. Because pound USD, I'm long term bullish. But I'm definitely not long term bearish on the DXY. If anything, I'm long term bullish. So yeah, some of the analysis is not really adding up between correlated pairs. Some pairs I'm looking for downside, some pairs I'm looking for upside, but they're correlated pairs, so why am I bearish and bullish on one of them? Again, for me, I kind of just like to stay in tune with whatever market I'm trading. So if pound USD is looking bullish and there's good confidence to back that up, then I'm going to be looking for buys. Of course, it's always nice if I can get DXY to be doing the opposite and Euro USD to be doing something similar, but if that's not the case, as long as it's a good trading opportunity, I'll still take it. If it's then yeah, of course, I'll give that a skip. But yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot of things add up. I only check my stocks every couple of months. My stocks up or down, I see the same. Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's effectively how you want your trading to be as well. That's how you want your trading to be. If you're down on the day, down on the week, down on the month, kind of want to be sleeping the same as well. But yeah, with stocks, you're definitely thinking about the longer term. So whether you're up or down, it's not really too bothering, because in the long run, you'll see your profits. But trading, you're always thinking about the here and now. So if you're down, you're kind of sweating bricks, and if you're up, you're throwing a party. It's a great point, but I have to watch it at least once a day. I'm getting curious about what happened. Yeah, I mean, we all have different battles as well. Some people constantly looking at trades. Some people quite good with that. Other people deal with fear quite a lot. Fear of entering a trade potentially, or fear of losing. Some people don't really have to fight that battle. Some people a bit more greedy. They have to fight that battle. But yeah, I feel like just because trading is all about the here and now, so people are a little bit more emotional because of that. They're very quick to judge their trading based on the last 3 trades. If they're all winners, they feel like the best trade in the world. If they're all losers, they feel like something's completely wrong and they need to go and restart the whole process. So yeah, they're quite emotional from that perspective. But if you really look at trading what it is, trading is accumulation of trades, 50, 100, 200 trades. That's what really sums up a trader, not their past 3 trades. Yeah, I mean, it's something that you work on as well. I feel like with swing trading, you naturally work on that quite a lot, because you're going to be in trades a lot more in terms of holding them for longer, overnight, over weekend. So you have to try and become a bit more detached. If you're too attached to it, then you probably end up closing early quite a lot. Okay, so keeping an eye on pound Aussie and Euro NZD. See what we do with gold. But yeah, I mean, now that I'm out of Euro USD, I'll probably set some alerts with other markets. I'll probably set an alert with Euro, because we're not too far away from that level, and I still do want to long from that area, so I will definitely keep an eye on that. I think with the pound pairs, yeah, I mean, pound yen's nowhere near my level, so I don't really have to think too much about pound yen, unless we have a crazy move for the yen pairs, which, to be honest, can definitely happen. As we can see not too long ago, big move down, big move down. I feel like we're probably going to see some, maybe not of this caliber, but I've got a feeling we'll probably see something similar to this at some point in time for the yen pairs, which then could be my opportunity to buy back up and find some entries. But yeah, pound yen's nowhere near my level, so I'm not really too fixated on pound yen. Euro yen's a bit closer, so I probably will set an alert there. And CAD yen need a bit more upside, but I'll probably set an alert for that level. Other than that, the dollar pairs not really close as well either. Finally paid on my credit card. Now I can start funding my account again. I'm not really trading well enough. I might buy stocks instead and keep it small so I get my trading mojo back. Yeah, I mean, trading is a confidence game. It's a confidence game as well. So if your confidence is not there, you shouldn't even really be trading, really, at least with size anyway. So, you know, one of the best ways to do that is by starting small, reduce your position size, trade on a small size account, and then, of course, once you get your mojo back, you can trade a bit more, not aggressively, but just with a bigger lot size. So yeah, trading is a big confidence game. If your confidence not there, you know, there's no point really. Because if your confidence not there, you're gonna be a lot more emotional. You know, confidence is kind of the absence of emotion to a degree. Because when you have confidence, you're thinking logically, and you're not gonna be swayed easily by loss or win. If you don't have confidence, then you're gonna be very, very emotional, and we all know what emotion has, what type of impact emotion has in trading. To become a successful trader, 100% Sculpey, 100%. I fully agree with that as well. If you're too emotional, you always will hit a brick wall at some point. Game City, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Good afternoon. How are you? It's not quite afternoon where I'm at, but good afternoon to you too. I'm doing good. Hope you are well. Yeah, that's true as well. That's true. Again, what's that saying? Once you understand a problem, you've already solved half of it or something like that. Once you identify the problem, you've already solved half of it. And I feel like that's a lot of trading as well. I feel like a lot of traders not even aware of half the things that's holding them back. I feel like once you're aware of it, then, you know, it's not too difficult to, put a plan in place to try and work around it, try and overcome it. Yeah, that's true as well, Poppy. Once you've had a bit of taste of a big account, it is difficult to trade on a small account. I do agree. But yeah, I think you just got to look at the small account as a stepping stone. Really, it's not permanent. It's just kind of a way to get back into the thick of things, especially if your confidence is a little bit low and you haven't been trading well, or you've taken some time off trading. Get your feet wet, get back into the market, get back into the groove of it. Because trading is all about groove as well. Trading's about rhythm too, consistency, repeated actions. Once you find your rhythm, your groove, then you kind of just taking trades as you normally do, analyzing, trading, and the rest takes care of itself really. So once you get into a nice groove, of course it's never straightforward. You still go through some losing patches, winning patches, vice versa, but there's a groove to it. Once you're in that groove, then everything else takes care of itself really. Game City, pound USD, Euro USD, and pound Aussie. Quick analysis if you have done it already, because just joined. Yeah, so Pound USD and Euro USD just touched on. Pound USD, I'm looking at buys down here at 1.264. Essentially looking at a continuation of this bullish move here, this bullish structure, looking at another higher low, another higher high. Got some nice confidence lining up here. So that's where I'm looking for a long. And yeah, targets back to the high. Euro USD similar as well, looking at a retest of the low here for a push back to the high. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Was anticipating this to be the higher low, but of course we haven't made a higher high yet, so we might come back down. Looking for that to be the higher low for push back up. So yeah, pretty bullish on both of those markets. And pound Aussie looking for sells as we approach resistance here. Really strong level of support previously. Now taking as resistance. We're still putting in those lower lows and lower highs. As long as we don't take up this high here, I'm looking for a sell. And looking for some type of double top as we approach that resistance there as well. So yeah, pound Aussie looking at downside, Euro USD and pound USD looking at upside. But it does look like pound USD's got a lot of retracement to do. So you can probably see a lot more downside first. Maybe some counter trend sells there could be looking good. But for me, I'm focused on the longs. I'm focused on the longs. I find when journaling, you must include your emotions at the time of trading, your mindset, and how the trades makes you feel is a key learning and how to prove yourself. Yeah, I fully agree as well. When I do exit my trades, I always kind of reflect on myself emotionally as well, because a lot of the time when I'm doing well, I'm a little bit more overconfident, and when I'm not doing so well, I'm a little bit underconfident as well, in terms of hesitate a little bit more, or I'm overthinking a trade. So it might tick 9 boxes out of 10, but because it doesn't tick that 10th one, I kind of like, I'm not going to take the trade, it's not good enough. But then in reality, it's still a very, very good trade. It's just, I'm kind of looking for certainty too much. And same thing with when I'm doing well, I just I don't deviate from my plan. I still take trades according to my plan, but not as high quality as it should be. So being aware of that makes me aware of that tendency of mine, which then kind of helps me ground myself when I do take trades and I know off a good patch or a losing patch. I'm aware of that. I haven't actually taken a trade this week. I was in Euro USD longs from last Friday, which I've just been trailed out of, but I haven't taken a trade this week yet. A few pairs on the watch list, but nothing has quite sat up how I wanted it to yet. But no, I haven't got into a new trade this week. I do journal, but not the money, only what I do and what makes me enter the trade. Money journaling makes me think too much. Yeah, I mean, I keep tabs of percentages mostly. I use a journaling software that obviously will keep tabs on the money as well. But in terms of looking at growth and everything, the percentages is the main thing I'm looking at, because in terms of my risk, I'm risking a set percentage per trade, so I'm looking at percentages as well. That's kind of where my attention is at, and I feel like that's where most people's attention should be at. You can look at money as well. It's just more difficult to be less attached to money than percentage, because no matter how big your count is, 1% is still 1%, 2% is still 2%. But then $100 is very different to $1,000, which is very different to $10,000 as well. So that can have some emotional attachment to it. So I think percentages is better to deal with. Social scientist, I'm in a break-even phase. How can I become profitable from break-even trade? Any tips? Yeah, I always say once you're in a break-even phase, you're very, very close to becoming profitable. Very, very close to becoming profitable. Um, the best way to identify where you're going wrong is, well, not necessarily wrong, but if you're doing the break even dance like this, all you need to understand is, how can I not give back so much during the down periods, and how can I just keep doing what I'm doing in the up periods? Because the only reason why you're going sideways is because the up periods are equal to the down periods. If the up periods were a little bit more than the down periods, then your equity curve will start doing something like this, and over time it will start pushing up. So you just have to cut out some of the poor losers that you take that are unnecessary. Of course, the best way to do that is, of course, looking back over your previous trades, and look what you do in the up periods as well compared to the down periods as well. So if you're doing this, what are you doing differently in these periods on average? Of course, not every single period is going to be the exact same, but what are you doing in these periods on average? Are there certain characteristics in your trades in these average, or a certain approach to the market you have during these periods in average compared to the down periods? Do more of this, do less of that, and again, that naturally will start pushing equity curve to the upside. So yeah, there's not a lot to it really. There's not a lot to it really, because if you're not losing money anymore, that means you're kind of making what you're giving back. You just need to give back a little bit less, and then your equity curve will start pushing up. So the best way to do that is go over your trades, characteristics of your winners, characteristics of your losers. Focus on that, neglect the other thing. And there could be a lot of emotional ties to it as well. Taking an extra loss that's unnecessary because you're trying to get back at win. Sometimes just cutting out some emotional trades could be the difference between profitability and not profitability as well. So yeah, I would focus on that. And just kind of a consistent approach to the market as well. Consistent approach to the market. For me, that was a real game changer in terms of taking the exact same trade all the time, manage the risk appropriately, trade managed appropriately as well, according to my plan. Just having a consistent approach, consistent kind of attack point to the market is a great way to really find consistency as well. Lessen the trades, taking focus hyperbolic setups. That's a great way to say it as well, Scalpy. That's a great way to say it as well. I just take a picture. Don't really write a journal. It's way too much work. I trade heavily. Yeah, you can just get yourself a software journal. Plug it directly to your MT4 or whatever platform you use. That way, it kind of just takes the information for you. You don't have to write it up. If you don't want to write it up. So yeah, I mean, at least you keep some type of journal, some type of record of your trades. I think a software journal is pretty easy because you just attach it to your account and it does it anyway. You still probably have to upload. You still have to upload the screenshots and stuff like that, and any comments you have, of course. But in terms of the hard data, in terms of the entry, stop loss, whether it's a winner or a loss, the hard data you can copy, but screenshots and the reasons for entry, you have to write that in still. That's a good one as well. Having things in place like that. Also, like maybe one loss in a day, you walk away, come back the next day as well. I know people that really like taking one trade per day, so you have one stab at the market. If it's a loss, come back the next day. Sometimes that can help stop the bleeding as well. It's too much difficult to maintain risk rewards. What do you mean by that? Too difficult to maintain risk reward. Are you talking about a big risk reward or a specific risk reward? I check the most successful traders on eToro. They all have at least 3 losing months a year. Yeah, I mean, again, if you're trading FX markets in general, you're not going to be crazy profitable. When you see the big percentages like 300%, 500%, 1,000%, those traders are not trading FX markets. FX market is a very steady market. It doesn't change too much. A big day in the market is like a 1% day. That's a big day in FX. So you're not gonna make crazy percentages. You're gonna be crazy profitable in FX. The real goal is to try and amass as much capital under management as possible. But yeah, three losing months a year is pretty standard, to be fair. Some people go like 9 months losing in a year. Some people have strategies where they're focusing on taking a lot of small losses, and then you have really big winners. And some people have 9 losses in a year, and the 3 months they win is what makes them profitable at the end of the year. Yeah, as you keep reminding us more. Would have made things very simple in terms of journaling for you there. Sometimes you have 200% and still have bad months. It takes a lot of confidence. When I saw that, yeah, of course. I think that's really where it is, because if you're going to be emotional, then you're not going to see out the periods of even when you're doing well as well. When you're doing well, then that will get to your head, and that will eventually be, how many stories have you heard about someone making crazy money from a small account, like taking a 10k account to like $1 million and then losing it all? So many stories like that. So it's not even the loss that can break you. Sometimes it's the win as well. But yeah, confidence and being disciplined is very key. According to IG Markets, 70% of the clients are in loss. Yeah, something like that. It's like 70-80% of brokers, broker accounts, retail broker accounts are in loss. 70 to 80. It's around there. If I was losing $1 million, I was jumping off a roof. Yeah, I met a trader who, I think he took 10k to like 1 million, then he lost it all. But he's still trading, and I think he's doing pretty well for himself as well. So yeah, that is crazy. I mean, if I took a 10k account even to 100k, I'm done, mate. I'm stopping. I'm withdrawing all of that. Every single penny. There's no way I'm going to continue. Even if I took a 10k to like 60k, I'm done. I don't have the greed in me to keep going to $1 million. And the reason why he kept going is because he thought he could take it to 10 mil. I think he took a 10k to $1 million, and then he was like, why would I stop now? Let me keep going to 10 million. Mate, there's no way I'm continuing after that. The return on investment has been crazy to begin with. And the top percentage, bro. 100% scalpy. And the goal is to try and be in the top percentage of the top percentage. Yeah, I've actually already done that. Social scientist. There is a day in the life video on my channel. It was a while ago, from last year, but there is a couple actually. There's a couple. My goal is to be top 1% traders in the world. I will be one of the best scalpers to walk this earth. That's a promise. I love that, Scalpy. That's the attitude. Mika, one personal question. What is the worst British accent? Trying to make me create some enemies now. Social scientist. Worst British accent? I don't know. I'll probably say... I don't know. Maybe Birmingham. I'll say Birmingham's probably the worst. Things that I don't mind, like Scouse or Newcastle. Even though Scouse is quite harsh than it is sometimes. But I'll probably say Birmingham. I remember when I went 15 trade run, I was so cocky and overconfident. Yeah. Won't be the first, won't be the last being overconfident. Because again, it's all probability at the end of the day. So, you know, even a random trader who, you know, hasn't seen any success in the market yet could go on a big winning run just because, you know, things start clicking and, you know, it just you know, it was the right day, right week, right month. Everything just played out very well, and then, you know, next month he gives it all back. You know, and it's the hope that kills you, because you went on a really big run and you feel like you can do that again, and it gets worse. There's a few. There is a few, to be honest. Yeah, true. I agree with you. More. Yeah, I think I would agree as well. I mean, Sculpey can probably attest to that. Because of course, with Sculping, of course, you're using a bigger lot size for the same position at stake. Some person can risk 1% of their account swing trading and risk 1% of their account scalping in an exact trade, but because a scalper could have like a 5 pip stop loss or even a lot less, and the swing trader could have a 50 pip stop loss, you know, the lot size the swing trading the scalper is going to be using is 10 times bigger than the swing trader. So there's a lot, and every single tick, every single movement in price is going to have a lot more weight to it, because you're trading with 10 times the size, 10 times the money per pip. So yeah, it's fast and furious. But as long as you can focus on the charts, then you kind of detach yourself from that. But if you don't detach yourself from that, then yeah, it could get ugly real quick. Which is why scalpers do have my respect. But anyway, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. I will be live again tomorrow, of course, and Friday as well. I can't believe today's already Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, we'll be live again. If I do get into any positions, I will let you guys know in the Telegram channel, which will be in the link in the description. So make sure you go check that out if you haven't done so already. If you guys have enjoyed the stream, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It does really help out. Appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far. Yeah, I do really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you have enjoyed the content. And make sure you do hit the bell too, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But guys, have a fantastic day. Stay safe. Thank you everyone for coming on. Thank you to my moderators as well for helping out. Really do appreciate it. But guys, have a great one, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Peace.